Welcome to high school, class of 2028. In this video, we are going to learn how to register for classes for your freshman year of high school and what classes you actually need to register for. First, some introductions are in order. So, when you move to high school, you will actually have two high school counselors. At the high school, there is Mr. Suttereth. He has all students whose last names start with A through K. And then there is Miss Farrell, me. I have all students whose last names are L through Z. So you might think, what can my high school counselor help me with? We help students with lots of things, from academic support if you're having trouble in a class or you want to be in a class that's more challenging for you, or you want to find out how to do better in a class, to college and career support where we talk about what you're going to do after high school, to social emotional support. So if you're having a hard time with something or you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, come see us anytime for any of these things. We have an open door policy, so you can come down to the student affairs office and request to see your school counselor. If we are not available at that time, Mr. Egan, our registrar, will get your name and he will let us know that we need to follow up with you. And we can also schedule an appointment to see each other if that works better for you as well. Quickly, I just wanted to go over some high school terms that you'll need to know. We'll go over this in more detail when we all meet together on our 8th grade transition day, and also we'll go over it with your parents and guardians. But just some quick terms that you need to know that may be different in high school than middle school are, first of all, credits. When you are in high school, you are earning credits to graduate from high school. This is something that you get for completing and passing a class. You need 28 credits total to graduate from high school. Another term you need to know is GPA, or grade point average. This is a point system that converts your alphabet grades, A, B, C, D, F, to a numeric scale from 0 to 4. So, for example, an A is worth 4 points, a B is worth 3 points, a C is worth 2 points, a D is worth 1 point, and an F is worth 0 points. So your GPA calculates what kind of grades you've earned throughout high school, and it gives you an average of those grades. Another term is graduation requirements. These are specific credits that you need to graduate from high school and earn your high school diploma. It's not just about the 28 credits that could be anything, like 28 PE classes. You have to have specific classes to graduate from high school in those 28 credits. Those are graduation requirements. Another term is elective focus area. This is something that we will talk about in terms of, hopefully it's linked to what you're interested in doing when you graduate from high school, but this graduation requirement is 3 credits in an area focusing on your future career path, hopefully. And then the last term we're going to talk about right now is a transcript. A transcript is a document that shows all of your grades and credits earned in high school, including your GPA. And so it's something that you can provide to future colleges and employers to show them how well you've done in high school and that you've completed high school, those types of things. Your transcript is needed for lots of things as you move on through high school. So, what are your graduation requirements? What do you actually need to graduate from high school? This is everything that students need to graduate from high school, and we spread these things out over all 4 of your years in high school. So, just quickly running through this, all students have to have 4 credits in English, 4 credits in math, and this is 1 math credit every year of high school. And this includes taking Algebra 1, Algebra 2, geometry, and a higher math. All students have to earn 3 science credits, including biology, chemistry, or physics, and a third lab science, like physical world concepts or anatomy and physiology. All students earn 3 credits in social studies. That includes world history, government, U.S. history, and economics, which we also pair with your personal finance credit. That's a social studies that you usually take in 12th grade, and you take econ and personal finance together. Econ for 9 weeks and personal finance for 9 weeks. You also have to have 1.5 credits of PE or physical education. This includes a wellness class that you usually take in 9th grade and an additional PE credit. And that can count anything like traditional PE that you are in the gym playing games. It could be a weight training class if that's something your sport requires you to do or wants you to do, or something that you want to do. That also includes marching band. Marching band can count for your required PE credit, and also a school sponsored sport can count as well. So if you play a sport for school, that can count for your PE credit. Also, students need to have 2 credits in a foreign language, and it must be the same foreign language, like Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, or German 1 and German 2. All students need to earn 1 credit in fine art. We'll go over the options for those things in a little bit. And you also need to have an elective focus area, which we talked about before, but it's 3 credits in one certain area, hopefully that you're interested in after high school. So, we currently have 9 options for elective focus areas at Alcoa High School. So, these provide you with an opportunity to explore a particular academic area in greater depth, academic or career area as well. So, these are our 9 elective focus areas, and you guys have done some exploration of those things in some of your middle school classes as well. So, we have computer science, culinary arts, fine arts, health science, humanities, HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, marketing, STEM engineering, and STEM technology. And when we meet together for our transition day, you will hear from these different CTE teachers and departments. Our CTE teachers are career technical education, and these are the teachers that that teach these classes. So you will hear from them and what their programs are all about. They'll give you a good explanation, much better than I could give you. So that's all well and good. We have 28 credits that we need to have to graduate from high school, but what do you need to take in 9th grade specifically? Because that is what is coming up next for you. So, what do you need to take in 9th grade? So, in 9th grade, you need to have an English 1 class. You need to have a math class, and all freshmen take their math year long. So, you can do that in a couple of ways. You may take your Algebra 1 class year long. So, you'll have an Algebra 1A class in the fall and an Algebra 1B class in the spring. Or if you are in honors math, you may have Algebra 1 honors, or we say ACP, Advanced College Prep, in the fall, and then honors geometry, or ACP, Advanced College Prep Geometry, in the spring. And all freshmen take biology as their science, and world history or AP human geography as their social studies. And these classes, English, math, science, social studies, and wellness is a graduation requirement that will be taken care of for most of you freshman year. Those recommendations are all made for you already based on lots of years of data and test scores and your grades in school. So, all of those recommendations have already been made for you and put into Skyward. So, you should already have English, math, science, social studies, and wellness added to Skyward for you when we log on to register together. So there are a couple of other things that you will have to choose from. One thing that we want all of our freshmen to do is register for a CTE elective. Those are the career technical education classes that we talked about on the last slide. So, the options that you have for those classes your freshman year, first of all, are computer science, which the first class is called Computer Science Foundations. That's going to lead to taking more classes in coding. The other option you have is culinary arts. The first culinary arts class is called Culinary Arts 1. This is for students interested in cooking, baking, hospitality, any kind of restaurant work, or your own kind of chef experience. So that is Culinary Arts 1. Then we also have health science. Health science education is the first class in this elective focus area in CTE elective. So, if you are interested in anything in the medical field, whether that is being a doctor, a nurse, a veterinarian, physical trainer, or a physical therapist, anything in the health field, this health science path is for you. So, health science education is that first class in health science. We also have HVAC, which again is heating, ventilation, air conditioning. And that is a class that is very hands on. You are learning how to do things to eventually repair and work on HVAC units. So, the first class in that elective focus is Principles of Construction. Then we also have marketing. So, our first class in marketing that you would take as a freshman is called Marketing 1. And in that class, our marketing program focuses on if you're interested in anything business, retail, they run our school store. They do lots of things with competitions and working in groups, and anything that if you're interested in anything business related or after high school, this is definitely the path for you. And then lastly, we have our STEM programs. We have STEM engineering and STEM technology. And the first class for both of those programs is called Principles of Engineering. You're going to do a lot of introduction stuff to engineering in this class and kind of figure out which engineering path you might want to go on. So, also, our freshmen, as a freshman, you are going to pick a fine art elective. So, that you have several things to choose from. First is music appreciation. This is a class where you are learning about music. You're not singing, you're not playing an instrument, you're not producing music of any kind. You are simply taking this class to learn about music and kind of a history of music. There's also Visual Art 1. This is a class that is traditional drawing and painting and art history, and it's very hands on. And you are, making and creating art in that class. And Art 1 is also a required class if you want to go on to take any additional art classes like photography or drawing and painting, things like that. So, Visual Art 1 is required if you want to go on to do any additional art classes. Then we have band. So you can choose from marching band or concert band. And marching band's in the fall. And remember, marching band can also count for your PE credit if you want it to. So that's a bonus. And then there's concert band in the spring. If you are a student who really wants to be involved in our band program all year long and do marching band and concert band, we can talk about that together and kind of make a plan for how we're going to get all of those things in. And then also we have singers, which is an auditioned group that you try out for with Mr. Gilmore. If you make singers, then you are actually in that class all year long as well. So that would be a conversation we would have together to kind of make sure that we have you in that class all year. And then we might put wellness or one of your other elective classes in your sophomore year instead of your freshman year. So there's singers if you want to audition to be in a choir. There's mixed chorus, which is with Mr. Gilmore and singing, but there's no tryout required for that. And then he is also wanting to start that mixed chorus and men's chorus next year. So that is an option as well. So if you would like to audition, you don't have to audition for those things for mixed chorus or men's chorus. And mixed chorus has male and female students, and men's chorus is just male students singing. So those are your fine art elective options. So when we log into Skyward together, and we are going to walk through this process together, Mr. Sudderth and I will be coming to the middle school to meet with you in your science classes to show you how to register for classes in Skyward and check to make sure everything is good. So what classes do you actually need to choose when you're in Skyward? So remember, we're going to be looking at a CTE class. So you'll have the option to choose one of those CTE classes we talked about just a few minutes ago. You will be choosing a fine art class, which we just went over as well. Um, any of those options for a fine art class can work for you. And then some students in may want to be in weight training your freshman year. That's something we can talk about if you play a sport and your coach really wants you to be involved in weight training your freshman year. We can talk about that. And sometimes when students do that, they choose to take their fine art in 10th grade instead of ninth grade. So that's something we can talk about individually. And also for weight training, students have the option to do early bird, which is a before school class. So you will not have to put that in your schedule during the school day, and it frees you up to take other classes. So that is an option as well. They meet 3 days a week in the mornings before school, and you get a half credit for PE for that class. So, actually registering for classes in Skyward. So, you first of all log into your student account. You do not use your parent login. You log into your student Skyward account. When you log into Skyward, you go on the menu to the left and choose Schedule. From there, on the right, in the top right, there is a link that says View Requests for 2024-2025 in Alcoa High School. So you will then click on that link and it will take you, this is kind of what your screen looks like at that point. When you click on the request for 2024-2025 in Alcoa High School, then your screen kind of looks like this. So on the left-hand side of your screen, are all the classes that are available to you as a freshman, or should be. And then on the right-hand side of the screen should be the classes that have already been added for you, your English, math, science, social studies, and wellness classes. Those should already be in there, and anything that has been added for you by the school, you cannot take off. So, like, you can't remove your English class or your math class. But what we're going to do is you're going to pick classes on the left hand side and move them over to the right hand side so that all your requirements and requests show up together. So, you're going to highlight elective classes, the one that you want to choose. So you're going to find the fine art class that you want and the CTE class that you want. On the left hand side, you click on it, and then there's going to be a little add button come up in the middle. So you'll click the add course button, and that will actually add it to your requests. So once you get those two things taken care of so that you have 8 requests listed, your required things, and then those 2 classes that you want to take. Those are the things that you want to take the most out of all the classes offered. So after you get that done, there is a link up at the top that says request alternates. So right now you're requesting courses, but we also want you to request alternates. These are backups just in case, like if you really, really wanted to be in culinary arts as your first choice for a CTE class. We really want you to be able to do that. But there might be a conflict with it. It might be full the only time you can take it, or it might only be offered at the same time that your math class is offered. So obviously, we've got to choose that math class instead of the culinary class. So under alternates, you click on that link at the top, and then you can add 3 or 4 other classes that you're okay with taking if your first choice of CTE class and fine art class don't work. in your schedule. So you can give a couple of more CTE classes that you would like to take and one or two other fine art classes that you'd be okay with taking. And you can list those things in order of preference. So as you click on a class on the left and click add in that button, from that button on the middle, it moves it over to the right hand side. Then you can move them up and down in order of preference. So that would show me or Mr. Suttereth what class you'd really want to take the most out of all of those things. So, all in all, you need to have 8 classes selected for your Skyward registration for courses, and then at least 4 alternates selected as well. And this is something that when Mr. Suttereth and I come to the middle school to help you with in your science class, we'll make sure that that is all good to go before you leave class and before we're done together. So, last thing that I want to just let you know about is how we are going to communicate with you now throughout the end of high school. So, one way that we communicate a lot is through the Alcoa High School website. Just, ahs.alcoaschools.net, and there's the calendar on there. There's lots of announcements and things. So, that's one way that the school communicates with you. The biggest way that your school counselors are going to communicate to you, and you're going to get lots of other announcements from other teachers and administration, is through a grade level Google Classroom. We have created a grade level Google Classroom for you for the class of 2028. And this is the code to join. So you can go ahead and join this class now. Um, it is an expectation that you check the things that we are putting on there. Every single student in the class of 2028 needs to be on this Google Classroom, and you need to check it regularly. If there is an announcement on there, if there is something that you need to take care of, we want you to check it and take care of it. If you check that announcement and it doesn't apply to you, that's okay, just move on. But we want you to get in the habit of checking that, because as you go throughout high school, that is how we're going to communicate the majority of information that all students need to know and have access to, including community service opportunities, field trip opportunities, college visit opportunities, scholarships. All of this information is going to be communicated to you through this Google Classroom. So it is so important that you join it now and you check it. Also, something to keep in mind, check your school email. Just like with Google Classroom, when you get an email, check it. If it's something you need to attend to or take care of, do that. If you don't, then don't worry about it. But you need to get in the habit of checking your school email. That's how your teachers will communicate with you. That's how school counselors will also communicate with you a lot of times. If you need something from your school counselor, like I said earlier, you can stop in and see us anytime, make an appointment, or you can also send us an email. We're very responsive to email. So anything that's a quick question or something you need, if you have a question about a class or want to ask to change a class when you get to high school and it's within that 3-day window when we can ask to change classes, that's the best way to get a hold of us, is through your school email. So that means you are also expected to check yours. And also, you can keep up with your Student Skyward account. Check your grades, check your attendance if you feel like there are issues, check your credits. Those are great ways to keep up with what's going on and ways that we can communicate with each other. So, again, if you don't hear anything else from this presentation, join Google Classroom for the class of 2028. The code is there. Check it regularly and respond to the things that we are asking you to respond to, and check your school email. We are so excited that you all are going to be with us next year at the high school. It is great to be in Alcoa Tornado, and we will see you later this week to register for high school classes.